Hello guys. So today we're gonna go over all the fancy words you'll hear in this industry. Now here's something I've already showed you. I showed you on a lower time frame. I didn't use any fancy words, but today I'm gonna just put a word on everything you see here. So the first thing you wanna come to and have a look. You see guys, the market is downtrending. We're gonna go over gap fills, FGV, fair value gap, and we're going to go through demand, supply zone, which is also known as support and resistance, and smart money concept, right? All of these sound smart and confusing. I'm going to simplify it for you. So look, we know, guys, in a bear market, right, every time resistance is tested, it will come down, right? And that is a supply zone. So what is a supply zone? If you look at this here, guys, you know a supply zone. So if we just zoom out and have a look at this first peak, this is the first time it touched. Oh, look where it's stopping. It's stopping right here and it's stopping right here. This is where it started dropping. So here you come, bring your fancy tool, right, your highlights, come bring it all the way from here and put it here, right? So now what you have is every time. Now, how do you identify that? Well, this is where it started dropping. This is where it started resisting. So you can see every time it touched this. Let's change it to every time. This is the resistance we know because this is the top, and we had one touch. This didn't even make it to the top. Second touch. Now, the fourth touch. It can touch as many times as it wants, but every time it touches it, there is selling pressure here. Right? This is where you can call supplies is being provided. So you will have always a pullback. Now this is something you guys already know. So let's remove that. And that's what a supply zone is. And that's what a smart money concept is. Okay? This is really what smart money concept is. It's hitting this supply zone. And that's where the smart money's waiting, right? This is where banks, funds are waiting to place positions. And of course, it's being placed, and the market's still remaining bearish. So these positions are being placed. These are sell positions or sell orders, either short or sell orders. Now, where is our demand zone? Let's find out, my friends. Well, if you look, we're going to change this to 1 day now. Let's see. So let's leave this here. Now let's bring another. Now this one's going to be awkward because it's being covered. A demand zone is simply a supply, basically where there is buying pressure. Alright, so let's go. Here is the first time it touched it, guys. Alright, here you go. Maybe it's just off by seconds, but by a few points. Better one. I can do a better job with this. Right. This level here, guys, is our demand zone. Smart money's waiting to buy here. So, what the smart money concept is. So now we understand that. So next thing is fair value gap. So you can see, guys, in the market there's two things happening. Either a V-shaped pattern or a downward V-shaped pattern. Or inverse V. So you can see if you look at this is happening. It's all V's everywhere. So what you see here is an inverse V. So the V is dropping. So fair value gap is, it has to complete itself. So you can see this is the bottom of the V, right? And this is where the V is. So that means the market has to actually drop all the way to 13,000 and complete the V. Okay? And that's a fair value gap. And you will see that. So now, once this is complete, you will have a bounce like this. Maybe 100 to 200 points. Of course, it depends on your entry. So, that's about it. Right? That's literally everything in regards to smart money, demand zones, and FGV. FGV is simply a gap that needs to be filled. Now we're going to go over identifying the gap before they happen in the next clip. Okay guys, so what we have here now is, so basically a lot of you don't have the accounts, the account capital to go through volatility of 300 points or so. So, of course, you're going to stick to your 15 or 30 minutes, 15 minutes, 1 minute trades. So, what could make sense in this trade, of course, is because we are downtrending, and you know, guys, if we're downtrending, there's a fair value gap. The fair value gap is 13,000 because we identified it on a bigger time frame. So, what that means is, well, that means we're going to get there somehow. And we're not going to get there by making big moves to the top and not coming back. No, we're going to have to come back down somehow. So, what could make sense is one of two things. So, either we touch this in one session, in one day, and this is going to happen by doing a zigzag pattern downwards, which a lot of you are familiar with because you've seen it. So, something like this. Right? You're going to see something like this. Up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. You can choose to swing it or scalp it. It's up to you. So, so identifying fair value gap. Well, every day you come in, if this was the fair value gap we're talking about, well, this needs to break this structure, right? So once this resistance is broken, now it will be sitting on top of it. This will become support every time. That's where the buying pressure will be. Then the gap will get filled all the way to this wick, right? It might stop here initially, but it will push higher to this. So then what you have is, you will have this thing that goes like this, and then this thing that goes like this. Alright, so 13,500, once we touch it, you're going to have even a bigger drop. Now this is for the upcoming sessions, of course, for you guys. So right here actually, see, touch this, yeah, the bigger one. See, before it touched it, that's where it started dropping, and now it started dropping here. So now next time it touches this, you're gonna have a little pullback, and then every time when it touches this again, right, fills this gap, you're gonna have a pullback. This could be in one session. So that's a 200-point difference. I think that's exactly what we're gonna do before we go back down to 13,500. But for scalpers, I mean, that's a fair value gap, right? Let's put a name on it. This here is FGV. A fair value gap is one end of the V touching the other. Make it a fair. Why? Well, because this is where it dropped, and it's been oversold for no reason. So it's like a spring. Once you let go of the spring, it pushes back to its original form, and this is the original form, right? So when you see something sell off, it's like a spring, and then you let go of the spring, and then boom, it goes back right here, forming these ovaries, and then you get a pullback, and that's a fair value gap, FGV. For a scalper, you're aware of this because what you're doing is you're gonna get ups, downs, ups, downs, ups, downs, ups, downs. This is an uptrend forming. You're just buying the dips, right? Until it fills this. Once it fills this, the trend changes. Now it's a downtrend because you have a short position here. All the selling pressure is happening. And now you have down, up, down, up, down, up. You're shorting the top. And that's it, my friends. Smart money concept, FGV, supply and demand zone. Complete. Right? There's more information on this. I'm sure it's been shared before. This is nothing new, guys. It's been shared decades before I was even born. Right? But that's essentially how the market works. And that's it. Enjoy.